Hello, this is Chris, ZL1CVD, and today I'd like to talk to you about CatTouch for the PRC-1099a Transceiver. All versions of the RS232 version of CatTouch can now work with this transceiver with a dedicated cable, which uses this connector here and this cable. You will also need to install new firmware on your CatTouch or buy it with the firmware pre-installed. Installation is very easy. It's just a matter of plugging in the cable into the ACC jack and plugging in your CatTouch. There are two versions of CatTouch case styles. We have this one here, which is a box style, or we have this one here, which is the more common desk style. Operation is very easy. We just plug the CatTouch in and we turn the transceiver on. Okay, let's just get this camera set up properly so we can zoom in and see what CatTouch is doing for us. Okay, immediately we see on the screen we can see the channel, we can see the RF level, mode, what PTT status is, we can see that we're connected, and we can see our battery voltage. We also get to see transmit frequency and receive frequency. If we want to change the channel, it's just a matter of clicking on channel, and a pop-up list appears with a list of channels. We can move up and down that list, and you can hear the radio clicking in the background, and that is as it's building the list, it has to change each frequency. When we want to change to a channel, we just tap on that channel. So now we can see we are on 7.074. If we wish to change frequency, it's just a matter of typing in the frequency we want, 12.5 for example, and we either hit TX if we only want TX frequency, RX if we just want to change the RX, or we hit TX RX if we want to change both those frequencies. The radio, of course, supports split channel, so you can transmit on one and receive on the other. Now, a couple of things. You cannot change the RF level or mode from CatTouch because the radio does not support that via its serial interface. You must change those on the transceiver. So right now we'll go up, we'll change the power level, and we can see that by changing it to high, it indicates that on the display. Low, it indicates that on the display. As we change mode, it also indicates that on the display. When we transmit, it will indicate that on the display as well. Tuning is also indicated on the display. We'll just hit the tune button, and we can see that it is tuned. Well, it shows that it's tuning, and when it's finished tuning, it comes back here. The rig, as per the user manual, will error if it can't tune the whip antenna, and of course the external ANT output on this transceiver is only to go to a power amplifier, so as by default this particular transceiver does not support long wires without an adapter into the whip assembly. Okay, as we change channels on the transceiver, it will also change on the CatTouch. So the CatTouch controls frequency and channel, and it shows you RF power level, mode, and the PTT status and whether it's tuning. On this screen here we have a configuration screen where we can change the rotation of the screen, so we can flip the screen over. It's particularly useful when you're using this case and you want the cable going from the other side. We can also change the backlight level. Just by touching we can dim it if it's too bright for, say, at night time. And of course we need to, once we've finished doing whatever we're doing, we need to save the settings. It pops up saved, so that next time when we power it off and we power it back on, those settings are saved. We'll put the backlight back up. We can also calibrate the voltmeter on here. And that's done in a similar way. We're just a matter of touching these buttons to move the voltage up by 0.1 of a volt each time. Or down 0.1 of a volt. And when we're finished, we hit save. We can calibrate the touch screen. We just touch cal, comes up with this screen, and it's just a matter of touching our stylus in all four corners to calibrate the screen. And that comes up calibration saved. Back to the main screen. Now, one drawback with this, with the transceiver, the way the transceiver is wired and the way the accessory jack is wired, when you turn off the transceiver, it won't turn CatTouch off. The power stays on there, so you do need to press the button on the side to turn CatTouch off, or it will flatten the battery. After a period of time, CatTouch will show not connected, as it does now. It takes about a minute for it to time out. Alright, that was just a short video showing you the new CatTouch for the PRC-1099a transceiver. It will not work with the older PRC-1099. That has a different processor and different firmware. So it works with the PRC-1099a. And it's just a matter of a firmware upgrade and a new cable that plugs in here. And you can use, if you've already purchased CatTouch for, say, a Yaesu transceiver, it's just a matter of updating the firmware, which will be available on my website at no charge, of course. And you'll be able to update your firmware on any existing RS232 CatTouch, and that's the one with the RJ45 socket on it. It will not work with the TTL CatTouch, as that requires different voltage levels from the transceiver. Alright, thank you for watching my video. Goodbye.